Since launching the Velshi Banned Book Club in February of 2022, I've interviewed the author of a banned or challenged book from America and from around the world every single week. 165 meetings later, and we're still meeting every Saturday because they keep banning books. Ray Bradbury wrote Fahrenheit 451 in 1953 in the basement of UCLA's Powell Library on a rented typewriter that cost him 10 cents per half hour. He thought he was writing science fiction. Bless his heart, as they might say in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where a ninth grade English teacher named Tatiana Silvas is teaching that book to her freshmen right now. Fahrenheit 451 is on Tennessee's banned book list, along with many, many other pieces of classic literature. Book banning is not a fringe movement. It's a coordinated political project, one with funders, with lawyers, with model legislation. But that coordinated project will fail. The censors thought the country was with them, but the country's not with them. The Constitution is not with them. And the reason the book banning project will fail is because parents and teachers and librarians who believe in the freedom to read are fighting the book banning project everywhere it turns up. The Rutherford County, Tennessee Library Board ordered its director, this woman, Luann James, to pull more than 100 books off the children's shelves. She refused, so they called a disciplinary hearing to make an example of her. The Rutherford County Library Alliance packed that hearing room. Neighbors, organized by two women, Carrie Lambert and Tatiana Silvas. And in front of all of them, Luann James looked at the board and said 4 words: "I will not comply." So they fired Luann James. But here's what the board did not understand. The alliance didn't go home. They circulated a petition that generated 23,000 emails. They're now training other Tennessee towns to organize, to pack rooms, to say no to book banning. Every book ban that's been reversed in this nation was reversed because somewhere patriots like Carrie Lambert and Tatiana Silvas refused to give up. These are patriots who truly understand this nation and its ideals. So the censors are losing, and they're losing because of Lambert said to her local TV station.
It is every American's responsibility to stand up and fight for the Constitution, because if you don't, who will?
Today's meeting of the Velshi Banned Book Club is officially in session. I'm here with two women who embody what it means to read as resistance. Carrie Lambert is the vice president of the Rutherford County, Tennessee Library Alliance. Tatiana Silvas is the organization's communication director and is a high school English teacher in the county. It is great to see you both again. Thank you for joining us. I mentioned in the introduction, I spoke to you both this week. I was honored to present you with the 2026 Penn Benenson Courage Award. It was in a room, a beautiful room at the American Museum of Natural History. There must have been 1,000 people in that room. And Carrie, you said to that crowd of people that the work that you and people like you are able to do around this country does depend on people like them and the rest of us supporting these movements.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't something that anyone could do alone. This is a community effort. This award was not just to Tatiana and myself. This was for every purple shirt in Rutherford County and even beyond, as other library alliances are starting to sort of follow that format, use purple. And the reason we do that is that this is neither a red issue or a blue issue. It is an everybody issue. Yep. You have different books that are trying to be banned by different groups, but it happens on both sides.
I'm glad you pointed that out. I didn't really understand the purple thing, Tatiana. This is important because it doesn't matter where you are on the political spectrum. You should want a teacher like you to teach a book like Fahrenheit 451 and address criticisms of the book from anyone and everyone and discuss that with your students. There's just no reason why a liberal or a conservative should think differently about the freedom to read.
Well, I think it's more about censorship. That's the issue that we're facing right now. It's an everyone issue. It's not a red issue. It's not a blue issue. It affects everyone. When I talk to my students about books like Fahrenheit 451, The Hunger Games, Romeo and Juliet, we talk about the ideas in those books, and we talk about how they impact people. But the most important thing to me is that my students feel that they can express their opinions and their thoughts, because my classroom needs to be a safe place for all of their opinions and all of their ideas. which is what America is supposed to be.
Carrie, you made in the video that we showed of you at the meeting, you made an interesting comment, and that is that when have the people who banned books ever been on the right side? Never. I mean, literally in history, every time we see it, we go back to Germany and book ban. It's just never, you're never on the right side of things when you're banning books. You're on the right side of things when you're discussing difficult subject matter and having librarians and school teachers help you curate your child's journey through reading.
Absolutely. I mean, sorry, it's so much and it's so frustrating because when you look at history, any sort of authoritarian takeover, dictatorship, they rely on ignorance. And one of the things we say a lot is knowledge is power, education is power. And I think that certain leaders understand that. So they're trying to take the power away from people. It's much easier to convince people that your way is the right way if they don't have access to varying views and opinions. So that's why I think it's so important. We want to have an informed community. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm doing this for my children's future. I want them to live in a society where everyone's voice is heard. And that's how you find compromise, and that's how societies flourish, as opposed to people being used to being told what to think, not how to think, not how to think critically and question things, but you're going to believe this because I tell you to believe this. And I feel that we are living in a situation right now where there's a lot of doublespeak. I remember when I first read that book and learned about doublespeak, I'm like, how could any society get to that point where up means down and down means up? And they're saying, well, we need to follow the law and we need to protect the children. But we have decades of peer-reviewed research that shows the books they're trying to ban are the books that save children's lives. We have laws that say the government cannot censor what is seen and not seen, that it's up to people to decide for themselves. And you have to understand varying opinions in order to make sound decisions.
Tatiana, tell me what happens here. The director of the library board was fired. They didn't unfire her. So tell me what success looks like for you in Rutherford County.
What success looks for us right now in Rutherford County is to make sure that we're getting as many eyes on this issue as possible. Democracy dies in the dark, and we are trying to make sure that we're shining a light on all of the bad behavior that they're doing. We would love to see there'd be some sort of legal intervention here that would essentially make it to where what they're doing is stopped in its tracks. But for right now, the biggest thing that we can do to generate success is to get our community involved and to get people to continue to show up and to continue to advocate for our libraries and our librarians, as well as to make sure that they know that we are always watching and we are always keeping them accountable.
We are so honored that you are doing this, and that there are people in America like you who are fighting the good fight without recognition for it. I'm glad you got some recognition for it, because it's recognition for everybody else in the country who are having these fights locally with their library boards, with their school trustees at the local level. Thank you to both of you. Carrie Lambert is the vice president of the Rutherford County Library Alliance. Tatiana Silvas is the organization's communications director.